Okay, Bezrat Hashem, good evening everyone. And already want to bless you Chag Sameach. I know we're a few days before Hanukkah, but because we study about Hanukkah today, so it's like we're into Hanukkah already, so Chag Sameach. And Bezrat Hashem, we're going to speak about the secrets of Hanukkah according to the Zohar and Kabbalah and Torah. You know, these days of Hanukkah are so special. We're going to get into the meaning of Hanukkah and the different actions that we can do in Hanukkah with the candles, with the oil, with the Chanukiah, with the family to Bezrat Hashem reach high spiritual levels, to get some advices for better life, marriage, and Bezrat Hashem parnasa, good income, Bezrat Hashem. We're going to see this Zgulot. Zgulot, it's spiritual ways to help ourselves to have a better life, Bezrat Hashem, good health, and kids, smart kids. We're going to see how the candles of Hanukkah affect us in different things in life. Amen. I want to, first of all, before I start, I just want to make a small introduction about all the holidays that we have in Judaism. In Judaism, we call holidays Chagim. Chagim, it comes from the word Chag. Yeah, we call Chag a Hanukkah. Chag Pesach. Yeah, holiday, if you take the word in English, holiday, it's a holy day. It's a word, it's a day that is holy. But in Judaism, we don't have that word. Holiday we called Chag. Chag in Hebrew, it's a circle. Why do we call it a circle? Because the whole concept of holiday is that it comes again and again and again at the same date. Every year, like a circle, we celebrate that day every year at the same time, the same Hebrew date. Now, what's so special about that? Our rabbis say that the way we celebrate a holiday, the reason why we celebrate a holiday is not because something happened in the history and we want to remember it, right? Like most of holidays, you know? That's what most people think. Why do we celebrate Pesach? Yeah, if you ask your children, why do we celebrate Pesach? What we tell them in the Haggadah of Pesach? Because our fathers, you know, they came out of Egypt 3,000, almost 400 years ago. They came out of Egypt, we became a nation, and Paro wanted to, you know, we were slaves, and then Baruch Hashem, there was a redemption. So that's what we usually explain. Why do we celebrate Pesach? So we remember what happened. Why do we celebrate Purim? 2,500 years ago in Persia, you know, King Achashverosh and Haman wanted to kill all the Jews. So we celebrate Baruch Hashem that we still exist. And that's the simple understanding of why do we celebrate. But really, that's not the real meaning of celebration in Judaism. The Chagim, the holidays, it's not just a history that we have to remember. You know, it's a little bit more than that. It says in the holy books that a holiday called Chag, because it comes every year. What comes every year? The energy, the power that was exist at the time of that redemption, of Pesach, of Hanukkah, the same spiritual power, the same miracles that happened back then, 2,500 years ago in the time of the Maccabim in Hanukkah, the same light and the same energy comes again and again every year in the same date. So basically, in the all 8 days of Hanukkah, there's a certain light and energy that comes from heaven, the same light, exactly the same power that was coming to the world at the time of the Maccabim when they fought the Greek Empire. And because they had such a big miracles at that time, those 8 days every year has the same energy, and we can receive the same power and have the same amount of miracles every year and potential. So that's a big deal. That's big date. That's very important date. Because it happened 2,500 years ago, such a miracle, the same light and energy coming to the world every year in the same time. That's why you cannot celebrate Hanukkah like before or after, right? If it's just a remembrance, a time in history that we want to celebrate, we can celebrate any date. But it's not working like that, because we need that power that coming to the world, that energy that was coming to the world in the time of the Maccabim, comes again and again soon, B'ezrat Hashem, on Sunday night. It's gonna come to the world. How can we get that? We need to have a vessel. In Kabbalah, there's a rule. Energy always comes to the world. Blessings always comes to the world. You have to have the right vessel to receive it. If a person feels in life that is not successful, things are not going well, it's not because God doesn't give you. God always gives you. He gives everyone. You don't have the vessel. You don't receive it. It's like there's water coming all the time, but you don't have a cup to fill up the water. So you can't drink. That's what's happening in life. Always there's positive energy coming from God. And there's always blessings and health and wealth and joy coming from heaven to us. Why do we don't feel it? Because we don't have the right vessel. The work of a Jew, our job in the world, is to create vessels. The bigger your vessel, more blessing you get. Smaller your vessel, less blessing you get. So B'ezrat Hashem, how do we create a vessel? We can create a vessel by talking and by actions. When you say certain prayers, what's a prayer? Why do we need to pray to God? Yeah? God knows what I need, right? He knows that I need $10,000 every month. So why do I have to ask Him for that? Oh God, please give me $10,000. He knows. Why do I need to say that? He knows better than me what I need. So why He says, pray for this? By the way, every day, even rich people, they have to pray for their income. That's what Rabbi Chaim Vital says. Every day you have to pray. Why? Because praying, it's creating a vessel. Hashem gives, but you have to create a vessel. You pray, that's your vessel, no problem. I give you the shefa, I give you the energy. I give you the blessing. There's another way of creating a vessel. This is by action. I'm doing a certain action, I'm creating a vessel. And the better the action, if the action that I do, it's something very positive, so the vessel is going to be bigger. If it's negative, the vessel is not going to be clean. So how do we get a blessing? We have to make an action or to pray. On Hanukkah, there's a big light coming to the world. There's a big amount of energy coming to the world. Especially in the first half an hour when we light the candles. How can we receive that blessing to our lives? We have to create a vessel, means we have to do something. Today we're going to teach a little bit what to do, and B'ezrat Hashem, how to get those blessings. So, let's start with the oil. On Hanukkah, there's few levels of lighting candles. The obligation is to light candles. First day, 1 candle. Second day, 2 candles. Third day, 3 candles. By the way, if someone doesn't have enough candles, you can light 1 candle every day. The minimum to fulfill the obligation of Hanukkah is 1 candle every day. We just add every day another candle, right? But the obligation is 1. When we light the candles, there's levels to the mitzvah. The highest level of lighting candles, it's lighting candles with olive oil. Why is that the highest level? Because olive oil was the oil that they used in the temple. The miracle of Hanukkah, when the Maccabim got into the temple and there was no kosher oil because the Greeks made the whole oil in the temple non-kosher because they touched that, which makes it not kosher. And there was only one איך אומרים cup? Vial, yeah, one vial of oil, olive oil, that was pure, and this is enough only for one day, and Baruch Hashem, Hashem made a miracle for 8 days, right? That's the miracle. Today people has a little bit of a problem to understand the miracle. So one time the children, they don't light candles. Who lights candles today? Nobody uses candles anymore. We have light, we have electricity. Nobody uses candles. So there was one child, he asked his mother, Mom, I don't understand the miracle of Hanukkah. So she told him, imagine you charge your iPhone for 1 day and it's working for 8 days. So he said, wow, really? That's a miracle. So that's how she explained it. Yeah, everything is with phones and technology. But that's what happened in Hanukkah. So they have only one oil for 1 day, and it was enough for 8 days. Now, when the Maccabim got into when they light the oil, which kind of oil was it? It was olive oil, but not just a regular olive oil. It was an extra virgin olive oil. Extra virgin olive oil. It's not like today they sell extra virgin olive oil. There was a real extra virgin. Extra virgin means the first press, the first from each olive, the first press, and that's it, not the second one. And that's very hard to do. There's a lot of laws. The people that make the oil, they have to be pure. They have to go to the mikveh 7 days to not be beside a cemetery, and then they go to the mikveh, and just after that they can make the oil. That's why they couldn't get oil right away. They needed to clean themselves and then to go to the mikveh and then to do that. So it took 7 days to get a new oil. Now, that was the miracle, and because the miracle was with olive oil, that's why the highest level of lighting candles is with olive oil. All other types of oil are also okay, and even wax, what a lot of people use, it's also okay for Hanukkah. A suggestion is to not light with wax, to light with olive oil. Baruch Hashem, today it's not so expensive, you can get a good one. Yeah, an olive oil that you actually can eat. A lot of people, they buy those, special for Hanukkah. All those special for Hanukkah, you're gonna see, they write that it's not, you can't eat it. It's not special for Hanukkah. Buy something that you can put it in a salad. And use this one for Hanukkah. Why the best way to do it is with olive oil? I said one reason, but there's also a Kabbalistic reason. Olive oil has a certain power. We did a whole lecture about olive oil, if you remember, a few months ago. Yeah. And olives and olive oil and olives, we made a whole lecture about that because olives has a lot of spiritual power in them. And the main power that olive oil has, it's wisdom. And that's why the Gemara says that if a person is careful to light candles of Hanukkah properly and candles of Shabbat properly, the reward in this world that he gets for that is that his children gonna be smart. If you are careful to light the candles of Hanukkah, the highest level, being careful in all the details, how to light it in the highest way, highest level, your children will be smart. Why? How does that work? They explain according to Kabbalah that every action that we do in this world, it's happening in the spiritual worlds. Now, we said that on Hanukkah and also on Shabbat, there's a certain light that is coming to the world. This light in Kabbalah that reveals on Hanukkah, it's called 13 midot shel rachamim, the 13 attributes, yeah. Those 13 pipes of energy that coming to the world are revealed only on Hanukkah for 8 days. This is something, those who study Kabbalah, this is something that is like, it's the best present you can have in life, to get those lights to your house, to yourself, those energies. Now, those pipes are not open the whole year, only on Hanukkah. And that's why, by the way, in the blessing that we say on Hanukkah, Baruch atah Hashem Elokeinu melech haolam, asher kideshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu le'adlik ner Hanukkah. We don't say the word shel. Le'adlik ner Hanukkah. The Sephardic custom, according to Kabbalah, to not say the word shel. Why? Because there has to be 13 words to the blessing, because there's 13 pipes of energy that come into the world, and you have to say 13 words. That's why it has exactly 13 words. So when we say Baruch atah Hashem Elokeinu melech haolam asher kideshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu le'adlik ner Hanukkah, and also there's one holy name of the 72 names of God that also reveals at that time. And that's why le'adlik ner Chanukah, if you take the first letter of each word, le'adlik is lamed, ner is nun, Chanukah is chaf, nachal. The word nachal, nun chet lamed, it's a river in Hebrew, but that's one of the 72 names of God that brings a lot of blessing to you. When you have this in mind, when you light the candles, you say the blessing, and you have in mind now the 13 pipes of energy coming to my house. Nun chet lamed, ladlik ner Chanukah. This name of God, you made a small meditation on this. You bring a lot of blessing to yourself at that time. When you pour the oil, what you're doing in this world, happening in the upper worlds. So now, when you put the oil in the glass, what's happening right now, the blessing is coming right now. When you pour the oil in this world, the blessing of wisdom, which oil symbolizes wisdom, coming to your house. And that's why I suggest people to, when you prepare for Hanukkah, the preparation is very important. Because you bring the blessing, you bring the wisdom to the house. Some people buy those candles that are already, they're ready, with the oil in it already, to save time. That's not good. Why? You miss the preparation of putting the oil, means bringing the wisdom to the house. And then, by the way, according to Kabbalah, there's also a very another holy name of the 72 names of God, which is Bet Yud Tet. 3 letters, Bet Yud Tet, that when you put the oil, and it's better that the wife will put the oil. The husband should light it, and the wife should put it in the glass, and she has to have in mind this name of Bet Yud Tet. Those 3 letters, that it's a combination of one of the names of God that brings again the wisdom to the house. And if she has that in mind, it works even better. By the way, if you don't have those names that I'm saying, it's also okay. I'm just saying, if you want to do it in the best way, according to Kabbalah, that's what you have to have in mind. Even though you don't understand the meaning of those letters and those, but those names are very holy. Now, so we said that someone that is very careful to light the candles of Hanukkah and Shabbat on time, to do it in the highest level with olive oil, they get a reward of children that are smart. That's why every woman and a man that want to have children that know Torah, that smart, that go in the good path, they should be very careful lighting candles of Hanukkah and Shabbat, and try to do it on time, try to do it with nice clothes, to show the respect for the candles. This is a very special time when we light the candles. And if they do that, B'ezrat Hashem, they will have good children. Another thing,
lighting candles is right after Kabbalah?
Lighting candles of what? Of Hanukkah, you mean?
Shabbat.
Candles of Shabbat, it's right before Shabbat gets in. Like the time that it says in the calendar, lighting candles, candle lights, at that time you should light the candles.
can't light it before.
You can light it also before a little bit, yeah.
Right.
You cannot light it an hour before, but you can light it like in 20 minutes before also.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, good to know.
Now, on Hanukkah, the oil that we have, we use it for a mitzvah. A very special mitzvah. We bring wisdom to the house, we bring that blessing to the house, we light it. It's a mitzvah. Anything you do a mitzvah with this, the leftovers of the mitzvah has a certain spiritual power of healing, spiritual power of protection. It says in the Gemara, Masechet Pesachim, Shiurei mitzvah matzilim min haporanut. The leftovers of any mitzvah, they can save and protect you from bad things. For example, I'll give you a story. Rabbi Yakobov, one of the great rabbis 200 years ago. He was the grandfather of Baba Sali. He was a man that every day he had miracles. And people saw it. He was a very great person. And one time he was on a boat, and the boat was almost, there was so many waves and they were in danger. And they needed to take things and throw away, and everybody was sure that that's it, they're gonna die. And Rabbi Yaakov was at the boat, and he was so calm and relaxed, So his students that were with him said, Rabbi, let's do something, we have to save our life. He says, no, not now, we have to do Kiddush. It's time of Kiddush now. What do you mean Kiddush? He says, no, it's we have to make a blessing on a wine. Okay, I'll give you wine, do the Kiddush, and then save our life. Do something, you Kabbalist. So he was doing the Kiddush, he was drinking the wine, and then he took few drops of that Kiddush, of the leftover of the wine, he threw it to the sea, and on the spot, the sea just, boom, relaxed. Everything was okay. Everybody that saw that, they said, Rabbi, what happened here? He said, when you make a mitzvah properly, the leftover of a mitzvah, they have a certain power of protection. And I gave a whole class on Oshana Rabbi, if you remember, after Sukkot, about all the leftovers that we have from Sukkot, the etrog and the lulav and the aravat. They can help different things. For example, someone that cannot fall asleep, he takes the arava and he puts under the pillow, and it's gonna help him to sleep. You don't need the pills, like different things that the leftovers of a mitzvah can help you in life. So same thing is happening on Hanukkah. The olive oil that we use, if you have a little bit of oil left in the glass, keep this oil in a different box. And chas v'shalom, if someone has a certain scratch, or he got a pain somewhere, God forbid, you take from this oil, you pray to Hashem, you says, Ribono shel olam, I did a mitzvah with this oil, please heal that place. And put it on that place, and it does miracles. Rav Mordechai Eliyahu, he used to do it to all the people, the sick people that used to come to him. He always had a little bit of leftovers from the oil of Hanukkah and used to put it on people. And it always works when you pray together. You pray to Hashem, you can talk to Him in your own words, and put that olive oil, the leftover from Hanukkah, and it helps for healing. That's what written in the holy books.
Question.
Yes.
The leftover oil, is it before you put it in, or after?
After it burn.
After it burns.
Yeah.
So whatever is left in the.
Whatever is left in
vials.
the yeah.
You cannot use it, reuse it.
No, it's better. You can reuse it, but again,
better
if you're gonna reuse it, you're not gonna have that those leftovers.
So every day you can add a little.
You can add, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Now, so that's another thing you can do with the oil. We said one time in that lecture that we had that olive oil has a big power of wisdom, and people that drink a lot of olive oil, they have a good memory. If you want to have a good memory, make sure you drink olive oil every day. Put it in the salad, put it in different places. You're gonna have a very good memory. That's really working. I saw it in yeshiva. When we were in yeshiva, we're always, eating salad and everything, even any cheese we used to eat, you know, the labane, we always put olive oil inside, and Baruch Hashem, it helped for memory.
So you have to add olive oil to the olive itself?
Oh, now some people say, we spoke about that in that lecture. It's good if you're gonna watch it. That the Gemara, Masechet Orayot, page 13, says that if you eat a lot of olives, that causes a damage in your memory. That's not good to eat a lot of olives. Now, olive oil, it's good for your memory. So, some people want to say, if you eat a lot of olives and you put on those olives olive oil, it's like kind of balancing. You know, I don't know. That's what people say. Maybe, could be. The olives damage and the olive oil makes you better memory, so maybe. But if you see that this class that I did, I taught according to Arizal, there's a certain intention, kavanah, of two names of God, that if you have them in mind while you eat the olives, so the olives are not going to damage your memory, are going to make your memory better also. If you have that intention when you eat that olives. But go see that, Bezat Hashem, this shiur that we have, or come to me after that, I'll show you the names. Okay, on Hanukkah we have 8 days. 8 days of Hanukkah. There's a great sgula that the Ben Ish Chai, one of the great rabbis of Baghdad 100 years ago, gives us to do to get out of any problem you have in life. You know, people has problems, nachon? And I don't know if there's a person in the world that doesn't have problems at all. Each one has something, you know, that he wants to improve. Each one has something that, you know, he needs from God, he needs help in this, you know. That's purpose of life. We have problems and we have to deal with the problems. So Baruch Hashem, if we have problems, that means it's good. That's why we live. Now, but we want to get out of those problems. What can I do to get the help of Hashem to get out of a serious problem? So the Ben Ish Chai says we can use the days of Hanukkah. There's something special we can do to get out of a problem, or to be successful in something that we want. For example, a person has a surgery and he's very, you know, stressed. What's going to be? It's going to be successful or not? Or as a business something, or he wants to sell something and it's very, very important for him. So he can accept on himself before Hanukkah and say, talk to Hashem and tell, I accept on myself 1 day of the 8 days of Hanukkah, I'm taking day off work, and I'm making that day a spiritual day. Means the whole day I do spiritual things. I don't deal with work. I just pray, go to the forest, talk to God about my life. Itbodedut, it's called. We have to do a lecture about Itbodedut. That's very important, you know. And speak to Hashem about any things you need. And have in mind that you do that day, this spiritual day, 1 day of Hanukkah, doesn't matter which one of them, for that cause, for that problem, or for that need that you need, you do this spiritual day. And at that day you pray to Hashem, outside the house, in the house, you know, and you study Torah, you watch lectures, and you do spiritual day, 1 day of Hanukkah. No work. And the Ben Ish Chai says, if you do so, that wish that you have, that thing that you want to go out, that problem, Bezrat Hashem, with this power of the day of Hanukkah, and that you made this day very spiritual, of prayer and Torah, Bezrat Hashem, you're going to get out of that problem. You're going to get that thing, Bezrat Hashem, if it's good for you. So that's one thing we can do, and I know there's a lot of people, they try that, and it's working. There's another day in Hanukkah. It's the 8th day. The 8th day is the most special day in Hanukkah. Because first of all, at the 8th day, we light all the menorah, all the candles are lighting. So all the shefa, all the energy, the blessing is coming. The biggest amount of blessing coming in the 8th day of Hanukkah. In general, the end of anything, yeah, it's always the biggest amount of power coming at the end, right? So that's what happens at the 8th day of Hanukkah. Now the 8th day of Hanukkah has a certain specialty for people that doesn't have children, and to pray for children. Or someone that you know, not necessarily you, someone that you know that they waiting for a long time to have children and they're not successful. It helps more than anything else to pray at that day to Hashem and ask Him, for children, especially in the first half an hour. The first half an hour we light the candles of Hanukkah. That's the most important time. We have to be at home, and it's suggested to sit beside the candles of Hanukkah and to look at them and to pray beside them, to ask from Hashem, to do it bodedut, to ask Hashem about different things that you want at that time when the first half an hour that the candles are lighting. Some people, they have a custom to look at the candles and to make a certain meditation on them. It says in the holy books, the people that have depression or they're very sad, that's the disease of our generation, I think. People are depressed and they're sad, we're not happy enough. So people that has a problem with this, looking at the lights of Hanukkah and mamash focusing on that for a long time, can take out all the depressions you have, can make you happy for the rest of the year. So that's why that's a good thing to do, and it's for free. You don't have to go to the psychiatrist. You just sit beside the candles of Hanukkah and you look at them, and now you get the healing for depression, B'ezrat Hashem. And it's working. It's not much working. And even people that are not in depression, they just want to be happy, just a little more happy in life. Just look at the candles of Hanukkah, first half an hour. I'm not saying the whole half an hour, it's very hard, but do it for 5 minutes if you can, 10 minutes. That's very, very nice. There's also certain meditations you can do on the candle. By the way, people that looks at candles for a long time, they can feel their soul. Our soul is sleeping. We don't feel our soul. We are too materialist. We're too materialistic, right? We always care about our body and the joy of the body, and we kind of leave the soul back. We even don't understand how the soul is built. We don't know the autonomy of the soul. We don't know nothing about our soul. And unfortunately, the soul, for example, now we get a little bit of food for the soul. Now the joy that you feel right now when you hear Divrei Torah, this joy, it's a joy of your soul. Now, why is this joy is not so big? Because our soul is so inside the body, covered with all those shells. It's very hard to get. That's why most people, they don't want to come to classes. The soul is located in 3 parts in the body. There's 3 parts to the soul. Nefesh, Ruach, Neshama. The nefesh is in the liver, the Ruach is in the heart, and the Neshama is in the parts to the soul. But I'm talking in general. So we have to study the anatomy of the soul, right? But even if you don't study that, we want to feel the soul. The soul, it's a whole world. And it's actually, you can enjoy spiritual things more than you enjoy physical things. The spiritual things can be a lot more enjoyable than buying a big house or driving, a Tesla or whatever people enjoy in life, okay? Or going to a vacation. We don't know this world enough. Now, one of the ways we can reveal our soul is look at candles. When you look at a candle, that fire, and you meditate on it, mamash, you try to go deep and deep and deep. In the beginning, it's going to be hard. Try to do it a few times, not just on the candles of Hanukkah, candles of Shabbat, or just when you just light candles at home in a regular day. Try to look at the candle. It's going to make you feel your soul. How does that work? Because the soul wakes up when it sees something that is similar to it. Every person in the world, when he sees something that is like him, is going to wake up, is going to be excited. For example, imagine you go in the street and you see someone that looks like you. Or usually we get married to someone that is, is very like me. You go to a date, what you want. Let's say a guy goes for a date, what he wants her to be is like him, same hat, same interests, same goals, same everything. The more she's the same like me, I would like to be with her because we're connected. So, same thing is the soul. How can we wake up the soul, make it excited and reveal our soul? Is by showing the soul things that are like her. One of the things, now the soul is infinite, has no limits. Body has limits, it's limiting the soul. But the soul has no limits. And I'll prove it to you. When you dream, it's your soul. And you can dream that you anywhere in the world. You can be in Jerusalem and after a second you're in Canada. How come? In the physical world we can't do that. But in the spiritual world you can be in two places in one time. That's a question that people ask about Eliyahu Navi. Eliyahu Navi, the prophet Eliyahu, he comes every Brit Milah. Now there's hundreds of Brit Milah, thousands of Brit Milah all over the world. So how come he makes it? You know, he have to be in Canada and then in Israel, then in Australia, and so many Jews are born. You know, he has to be everywhere. So, Be'emet, in a spiritual world,
He's got to buy a lot of tickets.
yes, buy a lot of tickets. In a spiritual world, there's no such a thing. You can be in few places at the same time. Part of your soul is here and part of your soul is there, like in the dreams. So the soul is infinite. When you see things that are infinite or looks like infinite, the soul wakes up. For example, when you look at the sky, when the sky is blue, there's no clouds, and you see like, oh, it doesn't end. If you make a meditation on that, you focus on this, you're gonna feel your soul. The more you do that, and that's, by the way, big rabbis and people that are very spiritual, that's what they do. To feel their soul. They meditate on things that look infinite. Another thing is the sea. Go to the ocean. And it seems like the ocean doesn't end. You don't see the end of it. Even though you know that there is an end. But you don't see it. So the soul feels the infinity. It's like her. So it wakes up. If you look at that for a certain time. Same thing as fire, candle. The candle, the pasuk say, Ner Hashem nishmat adam. The candle of God is the soul of a person. The candle is the only thing in the world that instead of going down, goes up. You know, there's gravity. So anything fell and go down. Candles go up. The fire goes up. Always up and up and up. Why? Because the fire symbolizes the soul. The soul always want to go up to Hashem, to God. And when you look at that, also it has a certain of infinity in it, because, you know, fire, you can light from one candle billions of candles. And that candle is not going to lose nothing, which is a power of infinity, right? It's infinite. It can grow and grow and grow and doesn't lose nothing. So that's why when you meditate on a candle, you can feel your soul. On Hanukkah, one of the important things to do in the first half an hour is praying and looking at the candles. As we said, it's going to take all the sadness out, and it's a good meditation to feel the soul. Now, as we said, praying at the first half an hour of when you light the candles, it's very powerful. What prayers should we do? So one of the most important prayers is actually Gula. The Baal Shem Tov brings it in his books, that if a person every day of Hanukkah, after he lights the candles and sing all the songs, Ma'oz Tzur Yeshuati, all the blessings, if you can say the 91st chapter of Tehillim, Yoshev Beseter Elyon, but before you say that, the 90th chapter of Tehillim has the last sentence, the last pasuk of the 90th chapter, and the whole 91 chapter, and repeat the last pasuk of the 91st chapter twice. If you do that 7 times every day of Hanukkah, the Baal Shem Tov says you get a spiritual protection for the whole year. Means the Satan and all the Sitra, the bad powers, they can't control you for the whole year. And that's also affects your physical protection. Be protected also physically. So again, I'm going to repeat it again. Every time when you light the candles of Hanukkah, after all the blessings and everything, you say the last sentence of the 90th chapter of Tehillim. That's the sentence. That's a very famous one. And right after that you say the 91 chapter of Tehillim. Yoshev beseter elyon b'tzel Shaddai tlonan. You say the whole chapter. At the end of the chapter, again, we say the last sentence of the end of the chapter. Orech yamim azbieu ve'areu bishuati. Repeat that again. Orech yamim azbieu ve'areu bishuati. All this, do 7 times. It's gonna take you maybe 5 minutes.
Every day, 7 times?
Yes, every day 7 times at the time when After doing that, ask from Hashem whatever you want. And Bezrat Hashem, you're also gonna be protected for the whole year. But do it every day of Hanukkah. Yeah? Some Sidurim, how you say Sidur in English? Prayer book, Sidur, yeah. Some Sidurim, they have it already. In Hanukkah, usually the Sephardic Sidurim, they have it. Because Sephardic, they like those Kabbalistic things. So, they have it, you can say it. Huh?
I can't blame them.
Yeah. So usually they have them. So you can read it every day. If you don't have it in your Siddur, I just explained you can take a regular book of Tehillim, last sentence of the 90, Vinoam, say the whole 91 chapter, and repeat the last sentence of the 91 chapter twice. Do it 7 times. Okay? So that's another thing, that's another secret. I just told you like a very, very big secret in Torah.
This is during the first half hour.
This is the first
Half hour when you light the candle.
half hour when you light the candles. Right.
Well, yeah, after.
Now, I want to talk a little bit about candles in general. Hanukkah, it's a holiday of candles. Candles, light. Usually we use candles not just for Hanukkah. We use candles for Shabbat. We use candles for different things. One of the customs that we see in Jewish life is lighting candles for people that passed away. Ner Neshama, we call it Ner Neshama. And this topic needs an explanation. Like, what's the purpose? Like, why do we light for a person that passed away? We light him a candle. Why don't we do something else? Like, why don't we, do another action for his soul? Why a candle symbolize that? So the simple explanation is because the fire, as we said before, the pasuk say, Ner Hashem Nishmat Adam, the fire symbolize the soul. When you want to elevate a soul, right, you want to give it an elevation. So whatever you do in this world, in the physical world, is affect the spiritual world. So you have in mind a certain person, and you light a candle means you light a power of going up. So the same way I just light the candle that goes up, the soul of the person that I have in mind, that I just mentioned, will go up. So that's the thing that we do. Now, the candle also has a lot of Kabbalistic explanations, has the numerical value of candle, it's 250. It's very interesting that on Shabbat we have to light 2 candles, not 1. Right? That's the obligation on Shabbat. If you don't have 2, so if you light 1, it's also fine. But the mitzvah is to light 2 candles. And the Gemara says, why do we light 2 candles on Shabbat? And the answer is for shalom bayit, for peace at home. So somehow the candles, they bring peace at home. Now the simple explanation, how does the candles bring peace at home, is back in the days, they didn't have electricity. So the light was candles. So if you would light 2 candles at home, more than usual, you would have more light. When you have more light, you see where you go. You're not going to be stuck somewhere, Or when there's not enough light, people get angry sometimes. When there's light, you see everything. So everything is clear. You can be more relaxed. So that's why the simple explanation how the light brings peace at home, because when there's light, there's happiness. Everybody see each other, right? And this is gonna bring peace. But there's a little bit more deep explanation why it brings peace at home. A man has 248 organs. That's what the Torah says. By the way, that's why we have 248 positive mitzvot. We have negative mitzvot to not do, like don't kill, don't steal. That's a negative mitzvah. And we have a positive mitzvah to do. Put a tzitzit, build a sukkah, sit in the sukkah. Shake the lulav and the etrog, right? All those, it's a positive mitzvot. How many positive mitzvot? We have 248. And negative mitzvot, 365. We have 248 organs in the body. And we have 365 gidim. Gidim, it's veins and
sinews.
And all those tubes and those stuff that we have in the body. 365. So exactly 613. Now, because a man has 248 organs, like the mitzvot, the positive mitzvot, a woman, she's not obligated in all those positive mitzvot. She doesn't have to sit in the sukkah. She doesn't have to read the Shema Israel twice a day. She is not obligated to do that. And she has 4 organs more than a man. Why? The organs of or what she needs for
the production.
Yeah, for the production. So she has 252 organs. That was the Gemara says today. By science, it's all proven. It's very interesting that our rabbis were saying it thousands years ago, and today they see that it's all true. Baruch Hashem. So a man has 248, a woman has 252. If you're gonna combine them together, it's gonna be 500. 248 plus 252, it's 500. A candle is ner. Ner, nun is 50, resh is 200. 250. So 2 candles, how much? 500. 2 candles symbolize the man and the women together. That's why you light 2 candles. Bring peace at home. Means you combine the numerical value of a man and a woman together. So that's a little bit more deep reason why 2 candles on Shabbat. Now the candle, it's we light a candle for someone that passed away. Now we said that a candle also, not just there's a pasuk that says the candle symbolizes the soul, also the letters in the candle is nun reish. We said that there's 3 parts to the soul. Nefesh is in the liver, ruach is in the heart, neshama, the 3rd part, is in the brain. One second. The neshama is in the brain. So mer, nun reish, it's exactly the beginning of all those names of the soul. Nun is nefesh and also neshama, and reish is ruach. So in the candle, you have inside the candle the names of the soul that tells you that a candle, that's the thing that symbolizes your soul. And that's why when we want to elevate a soul, it's only with lighting a candle. Now, there's a sgula, there's one thing we can do with a candle that can help us also to get something in life that we really, really want, if it's good for us. We can use a combination of a candle, lighting a candle, and using a merit of one of the tzaddikim, one of the righteous people that were living 2,000 years ago, Rabbi Meir Baal HaNes. And the combination of the merit of this tzaddik and lighting a candle for him can help us in certain ways. How do we do that? If a person has a problem in life, and especially if he lost something, Let's say he lost, I don't know, his wallet, or money, or whatever, his phone, and he wants to find it. There's a sgula, there's a way to do it spiritually, by taking a candle, lighting it, and to say, I light this candle to elevate the soul of Rabbi Meir Baal HaNes, of that rabbi, which was a very special rabbi. I don't know if we have the time to get into why this rabbi. It's a whole lecture, but maybe I'm going to do that one time, a whole lecture about this rabbi, Rabbi Meir Baal HaNes. I did it in Hebrew once, in my Hebrew class. And you light a candle for his soul, and you say, you give a certain amount, whatever you can, to donation, tzedakah, put it in the pushka, you light a candle, and you say, Hashem, please, with the merit of Rabbi Meir Baal HaNes, in your own words, I want to find this and this. I lost that thing, I want to find it. And Be'ezrat Hashem, you're going to see miracles. Recently I was in New York, one of my friends there, he is a jeweler. And I came to his shop, he wanted me to bless the shop and everything. So I came there and he told me, Rabbi, you don't understand what happened today. I said, why? We lost 2 diamonds. And it's not our diamonds, we don't know what to do. I said, it's somewhere here and we are trying to find it and we can't. I said, come. Rabbi Meir Baal HaNes. Go put tzedakah, say for him, with the merit of Rabbi Meir Baal HaNes. Baruch Hashem, until the end of the day, they found the two diamonds. I also had in my house once, 3 days we couldn't find my wife's phone. Baruch Hashem, I have 3 kids, and when they get the phone, you don't know where is it, And one of my kids, he played. We don't give them to play with the phone, but he just took it, He was like small, he was like 3 years old. And he put it somewhere, we couldn't find it, now it was on silent. So you call, you don't see it. 3 days. No phone. Now I forgot about this thing. Like the Rabbi Meir Baal HaNes thing. I don't know why, I just forgot. And then after 3 days I said to my wife, you know what? We didn't do this gula. Let's do it. So I light a candle. I said, like hour after that, I found it, Baruch Hashem. So Baruch Hashem, but this thing works only if the thing that you lost is still at the place that you lost it. Like someone didn't touch it yet. But if someone touched that, if it was on the hands of someone, that's not guaranteed. Because a person has a freedom of choice. He can, do things. Now, so this is what you can do. Now, not just for things that you lost, also for like anything. You have a problem in life, the best thing to do, go light a candle, Rabbi Meir Baal HaNes, give donation, ask for Hashem, Hashem will give you. That's one of the things that our grandmothers, and I remember they always used to do that. The Moroccan grandmothers, when something happens, they right away they go to the candle's corner, they light a candle, they ask for HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's what we should do also, Today we are too materialist, Something happens, you go to YouTube to search what to do. That's not the way, Or Google, Rabbi Google. Shara Gilgulim. That's not what we should do. We should do the old school, the traditions. That's the best ways. Anyways, that's another thing we can use candles for. There's another thing very interesting about candles in general. Candles, usually when we light a candle, because a candle is a soul, it's something very spiritual. One of the big rabbis 500 years ago, Rabbi Eliyahu Davidash, says you can't shut off a candle with your breath. Now this is not something that is against Judaism. It's just a suggestion. It's not something that is not allowed. It is allowed. But he says, according to Kabbalah, the soul is the breath. And the soul also symbolizes a candle. It's not good to shut off the candle, which symbolizes soul, with the breath that gives you life and also gives energy to the soul. So he says that's all. That makes kind of ketzer ruchani. It's a spiritual short. Yeah, that's not a good idea to do. So I know that people has a custom and a birthday, right? So you light the candle and you tell to the kid, now you're gonna blow the candle. That's not a Jewish thing. That's not a Jewish thing. I mean, it's better to not do that. I'm sorry for all the people that I ruined their birthdays right now, but it's better maybe take a paper or something and just do it with something else. You're allowed to shut the candle, but it's better to not do it with your breath. So that's another thing that it's important to know about candles.
The thing for the lumbar.
Yeah, you can use anything. Right. Oh, water, that's also a way, yeah.
Someone told me to say letter pay, because when you say pay, it's a Hebrew letter, but it also gives the blow kind of pay.
Okay, so
And it's also can blow the candle.
I don't know, I didn't hear about that, I can't tell you. According to halacha, you're allowed to blow off the candle.
Yeah,
Aval, according to Kabbalah, as I said before, you shouldn't do
I
that.
know, but you're not really blowing, you're just saying Hebrew letter pay.
Right, but your intention is to do that, right? Okay.
Best to get it
Anyway,
with the-
we have another thing
put it on.
that I would like to speak about today. On Hanukkah, as we said, we light candles, and we talked about the power of the oil. How can we use the oil for different things, for healing and stuff like that? To pour the oil in the right way, what to think when we do that. But the candles of Hanukkah, it's also very important where you locate them. Also, according to halacha, the main point of Hanukkah is to spread the word. That people would see that you do it, that we remember the miracle. So you have to put it in a place that more people will see it. So some people put it in the window, some people put beside the door. Look at your house, the place that more people would see it. People that live in a very high building. So if you're gonna put it in the window, I don't know if people are gonna see that. If you're on the 11th floor or more than that, I don't know if people will see it. But if you have another building in front of you, so then it's fine, right? Because the people that is in front can see. But even if you don't have any building, you can put it in the center of the house, because the people in the house, they see. Now, to put the best way, according to Kabbalah, to put the candles, it's not less than 20 centimeters from the ground, and not higher than 80 centimeters from the ground. So if you can put it in between 20 to 80 centimeters from the ground, if this is possible. Some people, they put it beside the door, right? So so in this case, if still people can see it and you can put it at that place, according to Kabbalah, that's the best place to bring the light, because the light that coming at that time to your house, it has to come to the lowest place. Now, it can't be very low, under 20 centimeters, because according to Kabbalah, under 20 centimeters, that's the place of the klipot. Klipot, it's the bad spirits. So we don't want to bring them light, but we want to bring the light to the physical world. Basically, what we do on Hanukkah, we bring spirituality to our lives. We're very physical, and we don't feel our soul, like we said before. By lighting the candles of Hanukkah at that place, when you bring it the lowest you can, more than 20 centimeters, because lower than that, you give energy to the bad forces. You have to put it up more than 20 centimeters, but if you're going to put it too high, it's basically you're not bringing the light to the lowest place you need to bring, right? So, according to Kabbalah, also that's a good idea to do, to put it at that place, so therefore you bring the light to your material life, make it more spiritual. Another thing regarding candles that we have to know, every candle has certain lights, like different colors. If you look at the candle, it has the blue one inside. It says blue, and it has red,
Orange.
and it says like orange. So those, usually there's 3 that you can really see. And why do we have those 3? Because they symbolize the 3 levels of the soul: the nefesh, the ruach, and the neshama. So that's also Hashem, Baruch Hashem, created the candle specially like the soul with those 3 colors for us to understand that the candle is giving power to the soul. Now, here we see a big secret. When a person feels a little bit tired, a little bit too materialistic, not spiritual, you don't have powers or stuff like that, you can always light a candle for yourself. And this will help you. For example, if you feel, I don't know, you want to study Torah and stuff doesn't get to your mind, or you feel too tired, or you feel not spiritual enough, you want to get some spirituality, right away go take a candle, light a candle. Says, I light the candle for my soul, to elevate my soul. Don't worry, it's not, we don't just do it for people that passed away. You can do it also for yourself. You can elevate your soul right now. You can give a boost of energy to your soul by lighting a candle and having in mind, I do this action like I do it in this physical world, it's going to happen in the spiritual world, it's going to affect my soul. So that's another thing that you can do. That's why people, candles are very romantic, right? You know, when you go to a date, so a date with a candle, it's not a date without a candle. It's not the same, right? If you want to give a present to your wife or, you know, make her happy, so you light some candles at the house and she right away feels the romantic. But it's not really romantic, it's spiritual. It's something very more deep, more meaningful, you know? And when you have candles, because candles has a certain meaning, has a certain feeling that it gives you. That's why if you have a business and you want to feel better, have more energy, have more spirituality, just light candles in a regular day. There's no problem to do that. You know, if you can do it with oil, it's even better, right? But even a wax candle, that's very good. Today they sell candles with smell also. By the way, smell, it's something very, very important for life. Arizal says we should avoid bad smells in our life because all the scents that we have, they all participate in the first sin, Chet Adam Arishon. When Adam and Eve made the first sin, all the scents that Adam and Eve had, they were into the sin. Yeah, they ate, so that sense was ruined. That the taste was ruined. They saw, the pasuk says, "Vatireh v'chi ta'ava ula'enayim." She saw the fruit is very nice. She saw it. She was ruining her eyes. Yeah, she listened to the snake, and he listened to his wife. So also the ears. And when they took the fruit, they touched it. Right? There's only one sense that was not participating in the sin, which is the smell. That's why the smell is the most spiritual sense. And anything you smell goes right away to the soul. It's not a physical smelling, it's not a physical thing. It's a spiritual thing. That's why when you smell good aroma, that goes right away to the soul and give you a good and elevates the soul. So you can use not just lighting candles, you can use also smell to be more spiritual, to feel better, because it goes right away to the soul. But also, in the negative side, if you smell something that is bad, it ruins your soul. That's why Arizal says, according to Kabbalah, you should avoid any bad smell. Even if you do it for good reasons. Yeah, I'm sorry for this example, but you know, when you change the diapers, you know, so what can you do? It smells. I would suggest try to not smell it as much as you can. Why? Because anytime you smell something that is not good, it affects your soul more than any other sense. And if you want to keep yourself very spiritual and relaxed, you should only smell good things. That's why it's good to light candles with a good smell. It gives a lot of positive energy at home. A house with candles and candles with smell, it's not it's a different levels of a house. It's a different mood. People sometimes just those things can bring peace at home, can make the children more relaxed and happy. So that's a very important thing, I think, that of course we have it on Shabbat, we light candles, on Hanukkah we light candles, but I think in our generation especially that we need a little bit of energy and spirituality. It's a good idea to light candles also during the week sometimes, to show a little bit of spirituality, especially for tzaddikim. If you know a yotzai, the day that a tzaddik, that a righteous person passed away, so you can light a candle for his neshama and you can pray on behalf, you can pray and ask, because of the merit of that tzaddik, Hashem should give me something, and that's a very good idea to do. And the past generation, that's what they used to do all the time. They were very spiritual. Yeah, the day that Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai passed away, they light a candle. Another rabbi, Rav Ovadia Yosef, the Ben Ish Chai, each one with the rabbis that is connected to, you should light a candle. Also for the people that passed away in the family. Father, grandfather, great-grandfather, if you know the day, if you know the time that they passed away, you should light a candle at that day, and usually we do it the night before. So if he passed away on the 12th day of Sivan, so you light it on the 11th day at night, because in Judaism every day it starts at night and then the day. So Vayi Erev, Vayi Boker Yom Echad. The night is before the day. So Baruch Hashem, we spoke today a little bit about Hanukkah. We gave some good homework to do. B'ezrat Hashem, when we light the candles, how to do the blessing. Another thing that I wanted to tell you, very important. On the first day we add another blessing. We say 3 blessings before we light the candles. It's the bracha of Shechianu. Shechianu is like, thank you Hashem that we got to this moment, right? We say this bracha in different places in life. Even when you buy a new suit, you say Shechianu. When you eat a new fruit that you didn't eat for the whole year, and it's the season, you say Shechianu. And also on a holiday, you say Shechianu. And Rabbi Chaim Palaji says that if you in Hanukkah, you say the Shechianu with focus and intention, like say it slowly, and try to understand what you're saying. Shechianu v'kiyimanu v'yaganu lazmai. I thank Hashem that Baruch Hashem I got to this time again. Baruch Hashem I lived the whole year and now I'm lighting the candles of Hanukkah again. So if you have good intention when you do that, it's a segula, it's a protection that Be'ezrat Hashem you're gonna live the whole year until the next Hanukkah. Nothing bad is gonna happen to you, so you don't worry, Be'ezrat Hashem, and you should not. You can cancel your life insurance also. Baruch Hashem. You have the candles of Hanukkah. Have a good intention in the bracha of Shechianu, yeah, and this is a good life insurance for the rest of the year. Be'ezrat Hashem, I want to bless all of you that we all should have a Hanukkah Sameach. Whatever we do, Hashem will be with us, and this special time of Hanukkah, which it's a time of miracles. There was miracles, and as I said in the beginning of the lecture, the light of a miracle, the energy of a miracle is in the atmosphere at that time. So Be'ezrat Hashem, each one of us, of course, we want a certain miracle in life. Kadosh Baruch Hu should fulfill your miracle, your wish, and with the merit of this very, very high holiday of Hanukkah. Amen. Amen.